Hello everyone, Scottish Lad here and welcome back to Scottish Lad Darts channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing something slightly different. Recently I've been asked a few different questions about how I grip and how I throw the darts, etc. So I'm going to give you a detailed video on how I grip my darts and how it works for me and how it doesn't work for me. I'm going to show you my darts up close. Obviously it's the Rob Cross Generation 1 by Target. I've got the 41mm Yaoya spike points, so very similar to a Storm Point because it's got the flush. The Harrows stems here and the L style flights. Obviously the flights change all the time, but for now it's L style. So but that's what I'm throwing for this, is the Rob Cross Generation 1, and I've been playing really well with them recently. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the next part and I'll show you how I grip the dart and how I feel it works for me. So without further ado folks, let's crack on with it. Right folks, I'm going to show you how I stand at the oche now. It's as simple as they come. I'm just getting myself obviously in position to show you. So I'm going to turn the camera. That is essentially my stance like that, and you're always putting an even weight keel distribution on each foot, and I'll always recommend you wear whatever shoes you wear when you're playing darts, when you're even practicing at home. There's no point in practicing in your socks or your slippers or whatever if you're going to go to the darts at a pub league or a super league or whatever, and you need to wear different shoes. It's not going to benefit you. So as you can see, my stance is pretty much square on, and I'll get you a front section of where I'm showing you throwing the actual darts themselves, so you can see my follow through and stuff. But make sure your stance is always stable, and obviously you're not going to move anywhere. So ideally you're wanting even weight distribution across both feet. So my stance, as I said, is as simple as you can see. It's as simple as you come. So I'm going to go and set the camera up so you can see my throw in action. So I'll see you again in the next part. Right ladies and gentlemen, I've got the phone set up so you can see my follow through. I will be talking over the top of it as well as I'm throwing, while I'm obviously showing you my follow through and obviously how it looks. First things first, like I said in the last part, always make sure you've got comfortable shoes. If you're going to be wearing something that's not comfortable and it's something that you don't usually wear, it's not going to, it might not affect you, but at the same time you want something that's going to be comfortable and it's going to work for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm wearing the exact same trainers I use for Darts League every week without fail. So I'm going to go back to the board. I'll show you my throw a wee bit more and we'll crack on with it. I like to make sure my stance is correct and ready to go. As you can see, I always look down, make sure my stance is right, and then it's up, look at my target, set the throw up, follow through, follow through. Now, my three darts was a ton, and my throw was accurate, it was consistent, and the follow through was pretty much bang on. Now, I'm going to show you without a follow through. My first visit with my follow through with the way I usually throw was a ton. So I'll show you again without following through, so it's just a wee flick of the wrist. And already it's nowhere near the target I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for 20s. The first dart was 18 and the two darts after that were in the single 4. So having a follow through will increase your accuracy. And if you're just flicking, it could work for some, but for me personally, you're going to be spraying your darts all over the dartboard. So, stance is ready to go. Up, follow through, follow through. And obviously, even though you're following through, you're still going to get the odd rogue dart into the 1, the 5, wherever. But that is down to the fact that it will be a release issue. You're either releasing too early or you're releasing too late. So I'm going to have one more following through. .66 again. I've obviously had some kind of issue with my release and I'm drifting off into the 1s. Again, pretty easily fixed. I mean, people say move over the oche and stuff, but for me personally, if I'm moving over the oche, let's say I've moved to more central, I throw a bit far to the left. So I'm now more central to my oche. Now let's see. Even though I've moved towards the target I was hitting, which was the 1, I'm going straight back in there. And again. And the last one was a treble 20. So 62 there. As long as in a pub league, depending on your level of pub league, and my darts league, if you're going through, if you can hit a treble a visit, you're pretty much set in terms of how you're going to play your game. Now, switching with the way I throw is so simple as well. It's just that, and you just slightly move your elbow down or you move your head down and look. So I'll keep that there. 19, 7, treble 19. So as you can see, it's simple and effective with the way I grip and the way I throw to move around the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have a random chuck at the bull, and I'll see you when we get wrapped up. But as you can see, I always like to make sure everything's set up. Aim the dart, follow through. Follow through. Follow through. I get 1 in 25, 1 just outside and 1 again just outside. So in terms of that, it's so simple to do, as you've seen. It's easy, it's effective, and it works. But you're following through, your darts are going to be accurately going where you want them to go. Well, they're supposed to. But that's just a detailed insight into my stance and my style of throw. You know my grip because I showed you in the front section. And the only thing after you've got those fundamental basics down is getting your equipment right. So I use a basic dart, but I've used all sorts. The best thing to do for testing these things is to go to a dart shop. I mean, granted I run a darts review channel, but that's simply because I can't go out and try all these darts in different shops. It's not viable for me to travel down to England to go to a darts shop every week or every month or whatever. So that's why I do the darts reviews on the side. But for this, it's absolutely, it works for me. If it's going to work for you, give it a go. If you want me to have a look at your throw, or I know people that will probably take a look at your throw anyway for free, and they can tell you a wee bit what's right and what's wrong and what you could do to fix it. Now, I've had it done before by Dynamite Dave. Brilliant service. So if you want to check that out, go and check his channel out, give him a message on Facebook or whatever. I'm pretty sure he'd be more than happy to help you out. But thanks everybody for taking the time to watch this video. I know it's something different and I've probably dragged the arse out it a wee bit. But it was just to give you a little insight into how I grip my dart, how I throw my darts, and how I get my stance right every single time. So thanks everybody for taking the time to watch this. Stay safe out there, and of course, keep on darting.